Hello everyone, we're back
Hi.
after an enforced summer break, which was much longer than it should have been, but also not as long as I would have liked, as it's still ridiculously hot and sticky and smelly, and you can probably hear the fan in the background, and you may hear some clinking of ice in the glass. I am Native King Guy. This is Nona.
Hello.
Yeah, this week, complained about air conditioning, global warming, all that kind of good stuff. You know, no one told you life was going to be this way. Your job's
Hang
a
on.
joke.
Did that come through? I was clapping.
Your job's a joke, you're broke, you love life's DOA. It's like you're always stuck in second gear when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. TotalCultZone presents We'll Be There For You with a special 3-part series, maybe 4, on Hollywood superstar Lisa Kudrow.
I do love Lisa Kudrow.
It's the reason we're doing this show.
Yeah, I have other suggestions after this, admittedly, but I am so happy that we are covering her. She's just so funny.
I'm hoping at some point during this recording we'll figure out a catchy title for the series.
Just call it the one about Lisa Kudrow.
But then there's 3 episodes. Do I call them the one about, the 2 about?
You just put up like PT1. That's what they did in Friends. It has to be the one about Lisa Kudrow because that's how they labeled every single freaking episode over 10 series of a show that in reality is incredibly problematic, but I still find incredibly comforting.
It's undeniable in terms of success and the fact that pretty much everyone in the world has probably watched at least one episode at some point. And,
I
and know
I
the
kept it when it was on Netflix. I swear I was probably one of the only people that just had it on all the time. It's what I used to put on to fall asleep. It's my comfort show. I have a Lego set of the cafe, but I also recognize it is not the best in terms of being unproblematic, but it is an absolute signal of its time.
Yeah, I think I had an episode on a couple of years back, and it was just on. I was thinking, yeah, this will be fine. And for sure, I was like, this is really, really annoying me. These are horrible people. I don't want to be watching this anymore.
The only person I could say who I don't think is a horrible person is Phoebe, which is why I love Lisa Kudrow so much, I think, because she was the only character I think that had any reason to bitch and whine and be angry because of what had happened to her in her life. And when she married Mike, aka Paul Rudd, I was so happy. I wanted a show of just them.
Well, spin off, not Joey.
No, I didn't want to see Joey Tribbiani. I wanted to see what Phoebe and Mike did. I wanted to see Phoebe become a mom. I wanted to see her bringing up those kids because those kids would have been fucking brilliant. Absolutely wild children, I almost guarantee it. But I wanted to see what she did after. Like, she was one of the most selfless characters. She carried her brother's babies. That episode is like incredibly emotional. Yeah, she was the one person who I think out of all of them who actually had any reason to be an awful person. And she wasn't, at least that I can remember. Maybe I've glazed over any part where she was an awful person.
Anyone knows of any episodes where she's a problematic person? Get in
Yeah, let me
touch.
know
Get
so
in
that I
touch.
can be like, oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, it's a new thing on series 7 of this show. Series 7, The Contenders, I'm calling it. Because time off, obviously, I'm going to rejig the show. Maybe do some new artwork on it. Might have some new music playing to start the show off. I don't know.
Is that when we come back and I have to retract everything I've ever said that isn't true? Phoebe was problematic and I have to make a public apology.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll never do it for Cannibal Mukbang, so good luck.
Yeah, the new series may focus more on older films or series like this. Nothing to do with the fact that the company's been sending me films have stopped sending me them, which is disappointing because I've had some good
Letter
films.
to the companies who should be sending new films. Can we please have a new film? Preferably around Halloween because I really like horror movies. But
This
I'm
is
not opposed to really shitty AI ones just so I can tell you how bad they are.
this is the problem. Is like they've got the Fright Fest stuff coming through, and I've applied for a few of them, and they've just not said anything to me. I think there's one reply was, "Yeah, you need to be actually on the press list now." And the other the person I've been sending stuff to is just sort of blanking me on several of them. So I'm like, okay, I'm not getting any more films. And the stuff they have been
Yeah.
sending through, there was one which is it sits in a subgenre of horror films featuring sharks, and they're the ones that have the really shonky CGI, really bad stock
Every time.
footage, and you enjoy those films because they have that stuff in there. They're not going to beat Jaws. It's the one of the greatest films ever made. It's not going to be better than Jaws, so you're better off just going for this like cheesy, bad CGI.
Yeah.
Use some stock footage. Do the best you can. It had a good concept behind it, but then you sort of saw the shark and you go, "That's AI." And then you see some reviews online. It's like they were just saying it's just AI slop. Like everything with a shark and every scene with a shark attacking them is just AI.
Mm.
We had this with the Bone Keeper a couple months back with I think me and Captain J watched that one. Wasn't advertised as containing it, and it was just AI slop, even probably
Yeah.
written by it. So I don't think new films are a safe space from that, and I don't want to cover any more AI films. So older films gonna get more play on this show now.
Unless we put out a pitch to Olivia Colman. I'm assuming she listens. She doesn't, but I'm
Yeah,
assuming
yeah.
she does because I'd really like to see The Wicker Man. Olivia, hook us up, please.
I mean, I'm not going to say we're not going to get any new films at all. I'm going to actually start asking people randomly if I can get their films. If there's some indie people out there who haven't got any like marketing companies behind them and they've got a horror film or
Yeah.
just a genre film in general, because I think mostly indie guys do that. I'd be well up for sort of featuring more of them.
Yeah,
But yeah,
same to be fair. If you are somebody who is making films and you don't mind a British moron sitting there and saying, "What was that?
what even fucking
Um,
was that?
what was that?"
Yeah,
Honestly, if you don't mind that, send them our way.
yeah. And I'm always kind to the people who actually put some effort into it. You put some effort into it.
To be fair,
One of the
same.
efforts.
I
Yeah.
It's one of those where like I tr especially because, and I've said this so many times in other episodes of things that we've done, we have a problem at the moment where movies are being made. They are always to a set time. They are always movies that contain very little to actually concentrate on because we're living in an age of just picking up our goddamn phones in the middle of movies. And so, if you are somebody who is making movies that wants to pull away from that and you're making something, I'll say this right now. I absolutely love janky special effects that have you can tell the person is still learning. Um, some of my favorite movies are what people would class as shit movies.
Yeah.
Um,
Dr. Deathface.
I fucking loved that movie. That was the first one that came to mind. That movie was insane, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm. Hopefully be out soon.
I hope so. I want to get a copy.
But yeah, anything like that, get in touch. That's the banter portion over.
Again.
Yeah, that's the second banter portion. On with the show. Okay, brief history of Lisa Kudrow. Born in Encino, Los Angeles on July 30th, 1963 to travel agent mum Nedra and Dr. Lee Kudrow. Lisa was the youngest of 4 children, raised in a middle-class Jewish family with big dreams for all the kids. They sent them all to a school where their classmates included Robin Wright and Ice Cube. Big names. She received an A.B. in biology from Vassar College in Poughkeepsie, New York, and initially intended to follow in her father's footsteps by becoming an expert in headaches.
She kind of did.
She worked with him for 8 years and even earned a research credit on his study into the comparative likelihood of left-handed individuals developing cluster headaches.
That's actually very interesting. I have a left-handed son.
Do they have cluster headaches?
Just recently, he has started to develop having migraines, yeah.
Look into the study.
Might have to. Thanks, Lisa Kudrow.
Rather than continue down that path, however, at the urging of John Lovitz, who was one of her brother's friends, she ended up attending the Groundlings Improv and Sketch Comedy School in Los Angeles. During this time, she briefly joined an improv comedy troupe called Unexpected Company, which featured Conan O'Brien and director Tim Hillman, who did lots of CSI stuff. But Conan O'Brien, that's the main name there. And the Groundlings, that may come back into the story somewhere.
Oh, I don't need more things in the story.
This initially led to a handful of one-spot appearances in sitcoms over the years. She appeared on Bob Newhart's show Bob, and his previous series Newhart. Bob Newhart, obviously a big on names.
I'm going to say these are all incredibly creative.
And also had roles in Cheers and Mad About You, where she played Ursula Buffet, a role that would later be reprised in Friends.
I love that.
Yeah, crossover in the same universe. Never watched Mad About You, though.
I haven't really watched either of them. I should, considering how much I do love Lisa Kudrow. But I think it was because I was so committed to just rewatching Friends consistently, and I don't like Ursula. So maybe it was part of it. I did know that was a thing, though. I think it got mentioned in the Friends anniversary episode that they did.
Yeah, it's definitely mentioned somewhere.
Yeah, because it was like what, 3 hours, 2 hours on Friends, and they were all together, and it was very nice. I watched it. It's great.
At the reunion where they got paid $2.5 billion each.
I mean, I don't blame them. Get that back.
I mean, I'll get on to something a bit later about why that's kind of pocket change for them.
Yeah, true. But then I suppose, like, you would do it as well. These people are a large part of their life. You would do it just so that you could see those people again in the same room.
It's like, I'll do it for free. I'm mates with these guys. I'm friends with them.
Yeah, but like you said, it's pocket change. Like, it's not like at the end of the day, it's one of those things where a lot of these deals, I think, are also run through agents and managers rather than the actual demands of the person who they're booking. And if you consider that these people also still work, or for the most part, taking time out of their diary is a loss of money, they would lose whatever booking. So there would have to be something. And I do think a lot of the fees that they're paid, at least for that that anniversary show, was more to do with their agents and managers saying, look, this is how much we think, whatever. It was like a negotiation rather than the artist saying, yeah, I'll be paid. Because at the end of the day, they do still see each other, just not all at the same time.
They're in a group chat.
I mean, I think they probably are, to be fair. It wouldn't surprise me. You spend that long with a group of people, like, you're gonna be. Like, the show catapulted them, too.
But outside of these fairly successful outings, she also appeared in 3 shows that never took off. Temporarily Yours, Close Encounters, and what was supposedly her debut on TV in the unaired pilot of the comedy classic Married to the Mob. obviously a spin-off of the movie which starred Michelle Pfeiffer. I say supposedly her debut, as the pilot is available on YouTube. She's not credited, and I watched the whole thing, and I assume she's in the background somewhere, but the resolution is so bad I couldn't tell. So she's in there somewhere.
She was there.
Yeah. Married to the Mob, a film that admittedly I've only ever seen the trailer for. And considering how much awards attention it got, it is weird it's never mentioned about these days. So maybe cover that film at some point. Maybe. Ever heard of it?
That might be. I can't say that I have. We have a few movies we still need to cover, though. We'll add it to the list.
Hundreds. So yeah, no success there. Obviously, if you keep plugging away, one will eventually hit. And it does. She's cast as the lead character in a sitcom that becomes a huge success, wins awards, hundreds of awards, earns critical acclaim, is fondly remembered by just about everybody, and is still repeated endlessly on TV channels around the world. Yes, she was cast as Roz Doyle in the Cheers spin-off Frasier. Yeah. Apparently there is maybe a pilot or unaired stuff that exists. I doubt it, though, with the fact that they were a big success, both the shows, and there's nothing to come out since. I think she was dropped before it was recorded. And Perry Gilpin obviously took the role, which is a good thing, so I can't see really Lisa Kudrow playing that part, because I can only ever see her as Phoebe.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think that for her, at least, everything that happened to that point happened to lead her to Phoebe Buffay. And that was the role that she was absolutely naturally destined to play.
Yeah, and the next couple of months, I think it was, maybe, she was picked up for Friends. The rest is history. There's a little bit of talk about TV post-Friends, but the one that made her and her co-stars the highest paid actors in television history, obviously Friends. Even today, syndication royalties alone reportedly can possibly earn her around $20 million a year.
Yeah, and Friends is on everything and everywhere now.
That's the syndication royalties, not merchandise. Because those Lego sets, yeah, she gets a cut. Every time you get little Phoebe.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, but Friends is everywhere. Like I have an apron that has Friends on it. I have a table runner that has Friends on it. I have a hairbrush somewhere even that was a Friends hairbrush. I have so much Friends stuff, to be fair. I even have the little McDonald's figurines. I have all six. All six of them. They're next to my TV. The internet sold them, so I could get them all. But yeah, like it doesn't surprise me. It's still incredibly popular.
That's what I'm saying, 2.5 million. It's like, you could have done it as a freebie. Come on.
Me, that's just like, no, I still would have charged.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about TV career. Movies. Her first TV role was allegedly in 1989's Married to the Mob pilot. The first actual on-screen movie role was in 1986. And when choosing the films for this shows, I didn't take this one into account because she's uncredited and it's not actually listed on IMDb. So her first on-screen role ever is in the Canon Films film. She played Warrior Woman Leader in the movie America 3000.
It is 900 years after the Great Nuke, and the roles of women have changed dramatically, much to the displeasure of men and mutants. For it's a new kind of war being fought, with a certain kick to it. America 3000. Meet Corvus. He's a scholar. He's a spy. He's a man who falls back into the 20th century and lands the most important job in America.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
The President!
Me for president.
Meet Vina, the virginal queen of the Thunder Warriors.
Yeah!
It is up to Corvus and Vina to bring a little civilization back into the world.
What's a man?
Feel. I'm a man.
Corvus and Vina,
Oh my.
two lovebirds out to prove that love is the only thing worth nuking for.
What a day.
America 3000, an outrageous post-nuke adventure.
Canon films is where she got to start. Yeah. Good
As
old
warrior woman.
warrior woman leader. With a plot that reads like every incel manosphere influencer's worst nightmare or wet dream. I'll let you decide. Hundreds of years after a nuclear holocaust, primitive tribes of women rule and all men are either enslaved or feral savages. One enlightened man rises up to challenge the status quo.
Cue Lisa Kudrow.
She is the first warrior woman on screen, pretty much. And it's quite interesting. It's essentially an 80s apocalypse porn film.
Oh God, of course it is. Of course, I've said this, okay? And the overview I'm going to give for every movie I've watched so far of Lisa Kudrow for this is that she does not read the scripts beforehand. She just goes, "What's it about?" And they tell her, and she goes, "Amazing, I'm in." And that is how that has to be how she does this every single time. There is not a chance that woman reads anything she's given first.
I mean, with
Not a
this, I think
chance.
it's just a payday and like getting on screen in general. So apocalypse porn is essentially the kind of cheap post-apocalyptic dreck I love. It's filmed in the desert because it's cheap. It's got a slightly punk rock aesthetic and a synth rock soundtrack. It's just the general film you got from that era. Really cheap to make, kind of sexploitation almost. But it's canon, so it's not fully. Probably got some boobs in it. That's about it. Did apparently have earlier film roles. She said in interviews there were a couple of gigs she can't actually remember. And as her scenes were cut from them entirely, we would probably never know. You never actually forget your first role, though, and she admitted 1983's Overdrawn at the Memory Bank was where her dream started.
They monkeyed around with his mind.
Nothing to worry about.
Then they lost his body.
Either I'm nuts or you are.
Now he's trapped inside a supercomputer
We're nothing more than a bite in a giant computer.
where fantasies are virtual reality.
We will terminate him.
Raul Julia, part machine, all man.
I guess I made some waves.
Overdrawn at the Memory Bank. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., 12 Pacific on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Like, first film she was actually featured in, but scenes were cut, was 1983. And in Overdrawn at the Memory Bank, the late, great Raul Julia stars, and its plot is summarised by IMDb as: the mind of a computer programmer forced to take a virtual vacation is removed by a totalitarian government and accidentally trapped in a virtual reality simulation. He must find a way out before he expires. Sounds amazing.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to see some of these films.
Well, it was shot on video, sold directly to American cable companies. The film received mixed reviews, but later found a second life when it was featured on the Ultimate Barometer of Equality Mystery Science Theater 3000 as the season 8 finale, which means it's a special film.
They're always a special film.
So as it stands, her actual on-screen debut was America 3000, and her part involved ranking men by their physical appearance in the first scene, and that's pretty much it. Following this, her pre-Friends career is a mix of shorts you can't find anywhere, erotic thrillers like Dance with Death, In the Heat of Passion, and its sequel, In the Heat of Passion 2, Unfaithful, and Roger Corman Productions. There's a sci-fi horror Unborn, which is probably alright, and The Crazy Sister, released in 1995, although I'm pretty sure it was filmed earlier and only released because she's famous.
Yeah, that's 100% what happened with that one.
Yeah, those ones Roger Corman made, probably competent, fine.
The Van Arsdales are the world's worst family.
Bye! We love you!
Yeah, Get back in there.
The worst mom.
Wait a minute, isn't it the twins' birthday today?
The worst dad.
You're asking me?
The worst kids.
We've been in the backyard.
Yeah, I can't figure out why our kids are so wild. You know, we're both good-looking people.
And now the Van Arsdales have hired the world's worst nanny.
Who's your last employer?
The Kennedys.
But the crazy sitter has higher ambitions in life.
Do some children fetch higher prices?
That's right. Each blonde twin would be worth $19,000.
I give you 5.
They're worth $19,000.
Hey, I found your gun.
$8,000 apiece, right?
They certainly are clean children.
Find that guy!
$20,000.
No donuts! Oh!
We didn't mean to kill the monkeys.
100,000. It's all there.
Will Jason and Bee ever be sold? Will their parents notice they're gone? Will Edie have a change of heart?
We're trying our best not to screw up. Jason. What? Screw has a bad connotation.
The Crazy Sitter, featuring Ed Begley Jr., Carol Kane, Phil Hartman,
I'm a bit of a chubby chaser.
Nell Carter, and starring Beverly D'Angelo as the Crazy Sitter.
Hang on, are you telling me, Dino, that you've made me watch these films knowing damn well there were probably other films that we could have covered that were better?
No, this is the research I did after choosing these films, because I looked through her list of films and went, well, that looks interesting, and that looks it's. I mean, the first one was Marcy X, which we'll get to, and because that was popped up on my feed, it's like, that looks terrible. Sent it to you, and you went, oh, I really love Lisa Kudrow, so we decided to do a series around Marcy X.
Honestly, when you find out what I've suffered for this whole series, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, finding out there are others, I'm questioning my life choices. I could have just said, no, Dino, we're not watching those. Let's watch these instead.
We could have watched 1996 film Mother, made by Albert Brooks, and it's not to be confused with Mother, made by Darren Aronofsky, the film with Jennifer Lawrence and the baby on the barbecue. Good
That's
film.
the sentence.
Yeah, it is a good film. I like that one. Split audiences. This was a comedy actually starring Debbie Reynolds in her first film role in 20 years. Albert Brooks wanted an older actress who had retired from acting to play his on-screen mum, and this role actually almost went to Nancy Reagan, but she was busy looking after her cunt husband.
Fair. Happens.
And then in 1997 we hit the Lisa Kudrow movie, the one people most associate with Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Best film.
Written by fellow Groundlings alum Robin Schiff and directed by The Simpsons showrunner and producer David Merkin, tells the story of two friends returning to their 10-year high school reunion after being humiliated and overlooked during their school years. Determined to impress everyone with the amazing lives they now lead, they quickly realise they don't exactly have amazing lives, so they fake it. Everyone knows this film. It's a cult classic.
It's a massive classic. It's a great film.
Yeah, so good. It got a sequel at some point. Prequel TV movie Romeo and Michelle in the Beginning, starring Katherine Heigl and Alexander Breckenridge in the roles.
Not interested. It's not Lisa Kudrow.
Then in 2017, because everyone's beloved 90s film eventually gets one, it received a musical adaptation on stage featuring songs with titles like Business Woman's Special, Changing Lives One Outfit at a Time, and I Invented Post-its.
Ah, yes, the catchy song titles we all know and love. They sound like Fall Out Boy songs.
Yeah, a new stage production was announced in 2025, so it'll likely be touring around the same time as the long-awaited sequel arrives this year, maybe next year, depending on how that goes. Because, yeah, it's getting a sequel.
I did hear it was getting a sequel.
Obviously, you're looking forward to it.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because so much time has passed since the original, but that original movie came out, so it's hard to say. I will cast judgment
Is it
as
the
I
same
see trailers and stuff.
trepidation as the new Freaky Friday?
Do you know what? We need to cover that because I've watched it so many times. I felt like that I was looking forward to um this one. I don't know yet. I don't know how I feel. There's such a bigger gap. Um, and I also don't know. I don't know what they could cover in it. I think that's the thing of it. Like these were two women who were already grown in the movie.
Yeah, are they going to do the 40, 30 year? How long has it been? 20,
A long time.
30 year. Math, not my favourite thing. 30-year reunion.
Yeah.
So there we go. That was a quick retrospective of Lisa Kudrow's career and life. Not actually a lot about her online, which I appreciate. There's no scandals. I did look for some because you've kind of got her.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think there would ever be any.
Well, I found out she called out the toxic masculine behaviour from the writing team of Friends this year, commenting on how they would often degrade them if they got a line wrong on set. Also, during the writing process, because it's mostly male team, they would talk about their sexual fantasies with Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston. Weirdly, not Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, I think that's because she was somebody who, like, from the way that she has spoken, even before this call out, she's been making remarks about Friends for an incredibly long time. Like I know she's incredibly grateful for the fact that it placed her where it did, but she hasn't exactly been quiet for the fact that she felt that the show was dated. And I think she'd even gone as far as to say she hadn't watched any of the episodes back because she understands how problematic and stuff that stuff is. So it's one of those where I'm not surprised that she has now finally said something because I think that it was one of those where she maybe felt a little afraid to. Which is again absolutely fair. And we're going through a surge of people now calling out how disgusting the treatment has been of certain people. We've had documentary series even on things that happen, say at Nickelodeon, for instance. So
yeah,
she's a strong person. Like she has always come across as somebody who would tell you to shut up or no. So I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't necessarily privy to that stuff because she would probably quite loudly say, "What are you talking about? That's disgusting."
Yeah, it actually come to life in 1999 when a female writer's assistant actually sued the male writers for sexual harassment. And the case was built around them talking about Aniston and Cox in front of her. And she lost the case because it wasn't directed at her and was part of the writing process, in quote marks. Actually done a course on sexual harassment last week for work, and I know that that is actually sexual harassment. I think the laws may have changed or they're different to America.
I think it just depends on the laws in America make little sense. That's why we have a paedophile as president there right now. So
yeah, it must be that, because if you're doing it about anybody in front of someone and they feel uncomfortable by it, it's
sexual harassment.
Yeah, plus 1999. So it's been known about for a while, and obviously, that female employee was probably fired and blacklisted.
Because that's how they do things everywhere. It doesn't matter what business and what country, that thing is something that they do everywhere.
Yep. Lisa Kudrow's attitude was, say what you like about me behind my back, because then it doesn't matter. And the only other thing
Respect it.
Yeah. I think, taking the high road, you're making that much money. It's like, well, fuck you. You're just a dumb writer. I'm the star.
I mean, yeah. And she's done so well out of it, so...
The only other thing I could find was an article calling her the worst celebrity ever. And it was a specific person calling her out as being Hands down, one of the worst humans I've ever come into contact with. And this was written by Spencer Pratt, and therefore can be dismissed because he's a cunt.
I'd love to know why they felt that way, though.
Well, you needed to give him so many likes on social media, and then he'd tell you. I don't think he got that many likes because he's a cunt.
Yeah, paywalling shit that, quite frankly, it's probably all lies and slander anyway.
Yeah. So hopefully our special on Lisa Kudrow doesn't get tanked by a BBC documentary about her being a wrong un.
Yeah, please don't. Lisa, if you do end up falling across this, because inevitably I do hope you are the type of person who Googles yourself. And again, like I said, I don't believe that you read any synopsis or scripts when it comes to picking movies. So I'm hoping at some point you will hear this. Please, for the love of God, I'm not a believer, but please, don't do anything now, because I physically can't make a statement of apology. I will struggle. Okay, I'll never be able to watch your movies again. I will struggle watching Friends again. Just please.
Yeah.
Please.
That's the end of part one. Next week we'll get into our first double feature, and neither film is Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. Instead, we're looking at two films made during the height of her Friends fame.
Yeah.
So tune in next week for more Kudrow facts and two films. One film critics said nothing about as it was so obscure, and another considered a painfully tedious comedy that failed on nearly every level.
I can't even tell you which ones those are from those reviews.
It's good to be back, isn't it?
Honestly.
So I am going to sort of slap this on every episode to save time. Where can we find you online?
You can find me on Bluesky, NONAGOFF, 2 Fs. Because I'm British.
You can find me at TotalCultZone.com. I read my webzine full of movie reviews, opinions, bits, comics art, and stuff I've done did. And most importantly, for the social media Cess Society, links to whatever ones I'm currently using. That's TotalCultZone.com. Bye.
Bye. Just like bye.